Becoming is better than being. And it is by those words that we consider ourselves to be a work in progress. It means that you are never complete and you always have the opportunity to become both something and someone better.
It allows you the ability to be comfortable with making mistakes and accepting yourself for who you are.
Yes, we are a work in progress.
Okay.
Hi, I'm AN.
I am GK.
And I am Susan.
Welcome to the show. I'm loving the energy in the new year, AX. You know, 2 episodes in and you've got that energy. I'm proud. So, as we get warmed up for today's episode, we're going to play a game called What's the Phrase?
Okay.
Basically, our producer has developed certain jumbled up words with different meanings, and we're supposed to try and figure out what this phrase is within those meanings. Very simple. We'll have 5 minutes to answer, I think, five of them.
Yes.
But we have 40 seconds to try and do it within 40 seconds.
All right.
Okay? So let's go on the first one. AX.
Okay.
Kindly open them for us.
Okay, here we are.
Okay.
Okay,
There
I'm
we
seeing
go.
4 grabs.
4 grabs. Grab the bull by its horns.
No.
Okay. 4 grabs. G. What? Okay.
Kristen, do you have?
Grab. 4 grab. The grabs are like this.
And the grabs are up on top of something.
Yeah. Grab. Full stop.
4 grabs up. I'm so confused.
Go is 2.
4 grabs up. 4.
But it's a 2 letter. It's 2, 3, then many.
So it definitely grabs the last word.
Okay. So
You
step up and grab.
Too many crabs.
Up. Okay, we got 10 seconds.
Snatch.
I
don't know.
Okay, I think this one. I think we give up.
car
What is
grabs.
it? Tell us what it is.
up 4 grabs. I said up. I said up. Oh, God damn it! I was so close. I was wording it out. Ooh.
Okay. Now
Okay.
at least now we get it. That was like a trisex, so you know.
Okay,
That's
okay.
next one.
The
Just
quiet
quiet.
is
Quiet. It's not quiet. It's quiet on the end. There's nothing else.
no, but like it's kind of fading away.
Whoa. Quite. Something quite. Is it something quite? It's quite something.
Quite far.
Quite left. Quite
Quite
right.
right. Really? The answer is quite right.
Yeah, 'cause it's quite to
you're
the
quite
right.
Oh. Okay.
Next one.
Next one. Okay.
4.
Nana fish. Fish nana.
4.
It's N, then na,
0
then
fish.
It's na, then fish, then na. And the fish is on the right. So it's something fishy. No. Na fish na. Is it an unfinished Kiswahili sentence or something? Me, I don't know. Okay.
Tuna fish.
Ah!
You said Kiswahili.
Nice. Okay, I
There's
think
a team
this
one,
is.
But 1 point, Chris.
Okay, we have 2 more.
Okay, we have 2 more. Stands with a 4.
The 4 is in the middle.
Public stance.
No, 3 words there. Mid sentence. No.
No, that's stance, not
Hey,
sentence. Come on.
at least I'm trying. What are you contributing to this group effort?
4 stands.
Stands for.
Stands for.
4 stands.
4 stands.
Stands for. 4 stands.
We're really close.
Understand.
4 stands. 4 stands.
For instance?
For instance, oh my goodness.
Yes!
Oh, 4 in
Stands.
stands.
Okay.
Okay.
Last one.
So GK hasn't gotten a point.
Keep
That's what I'm
quiet,
getting.
keep
Limited scope. It's a small scope.
Interscope.
Telescope. Mini scope. Mini.
Cooper.
If you get this, just tell me so that I can be.
You
the
can
one to get a
contribute something
point.
to the
Kind of.
team.
So it's a scope. It's small and it's in the space. How many words is it?
5. So the last word is scope.
Not interscope.
Scope is in the middle.
It's also small.
Microscope.
You feel good?
I feel great.
You feel good?
I feel warm and ready to get into our conversation. So,
My God.
as we're entering into the new year, we're gonna play. We're gonna have what's new, and we're gonna look at 2 different issues. The first being a saga that happened in the month of January, earlier in the month. With
And December actually. It starts in December.
December. It starts with a guy called Novak Djokovic.
Yes. Okay.
Now, for those people who do not know, Novak Djokovic is a super tennis star. He is considered to be one of the top 3 tennis stars of all time.
And Nida, I
with
think.
Nadal and Roger Federer.
Hey, I was close.
You were very far, but it's okay.
This is why Chris and I get along.
They each have, I think, at least Nadal, they each have 21 trophies.
20.
So then in January, one of the big tournaments is called the Australian Open.
Okay.
And during the Australian Open, that's Djokovic's best tournament. He's won 9 of them, and he was hoping to break the duck and become the greatest of all time in January. However, something a little crazy happened.
It's not crazy.
He decided he made some applications, said he's coming to Australia, but he had not vaccinated. And you know Australia, for all of us who know, is very strict about their vaccination laws.
Yes.
But he was given a pass and told he can come. Then he went and he was told, actually, no. We have strict vaccine mandates, so you must go back to Serbia. Took about a week. He lost and he went home.
I feel like you have overseen. Okay, there's a really important bit in the middle that we do have to discuss about the Djokovic case. Because initially he was granted the visa exemption by the Australian government. When he got to the airport, the guys on the ground were like, you haven't been vaccinated. You have to leave. At which point Djokovic said, I'm going to stay and I'm going to appeal. And when he went to court to appeal the decision, it came out that the reason why he doesn't need a vaccine is because he already tested positive for COVID. And he said he had tested positive for COVID 2 weeks ago on December 16th.
Yep.
But on this, I think a couple of days later, he was out taking pictures with kids, not wearing masks and doing like all these press events. And everyone was like, if you had COVID, why aren't you wearing a mask? Why aren't you doing the thing?
Isolating?
Yeah, like why aren't you doing the thing you're supposed to be doing? That was issue number 1. Then as he's appealing his decision, because he won and then the government appealed and then that's when he lost and he had to go back home.
Yeah.
But as he was appealing the decision, it also came out that he lied on his immigration forms. He had told the Australian government that, hey, I'm coming straight from one place to another. Turns out he had stopped in Dubai or Spain or something, and he lied about it on his form. At which point the Australian government was, not only did you test positive for COVID, but you didn't self-isolate when you had COVID, you lied on your immigration form.
Yeah.
You need to leave. And that's when he left.
Yeah.
That's the context.
That's the whole context behind it. So the Djokovic saga has led to a lot of debate about two real issues, but I think you may add others. Number 1, why people are still very coy and cautious about the vaccine. And number 2, what is the best approach to dealing with people who are against the vaccine? Is it the carrot or the proverbial stick? Should you hit them hard or should you give them incentives to take the vaccine? And Australia have taken the stick approach. 92% of Australian people, 92% of Australian people are vaccinated. Okay? Many people have been unable to see their own family because of their COVID vaccination laws and COVID travel laws. So Novak Djokovic coming into Australia without a vaccination really caused a bit of a outroar. And so the Australian government could not approach it any other way but be very difficult with
rule of law. Everyone
must follow the law. But Chrisam, what do you think about this whole saga?
I understand when Australia says their citizens have to get vaccinated. That's fine. It's not fine.
Wait a minute.
It's not fine, but it's fine, right?
Okay. It's not fine, but it's fine.
I can get behind that.
I want to see where he's going with this. Because
you know I'm going.
Exactly. I want you to say it.
That's where I'm going. But Djokovic is not an Australian citizen. And Australia has a responsibility to all those people who use that country, quote unquote, for the events. Now, they have a responsibility to ATP. Now, ATP is a brand that welcomes everyone, so to speak, right? Now, if Djokovic doesn't want to get vaccinated for his own beliefs, religious, personal, medical, his own beliefs, Australia should make sure that these people, they won't interact with our citizens, right? They should have a bubble of sorts. You guys come, do your thing, leave. The visa should be for like, if the tournament is for 2 weeks, let it be for 2 weeks. Come, isolate somewhere, play your games. Once you're done, go back home. But compelling everyone, even outsiders when they're coming in for their own, This is what they do. This is their own professional. This is their job.
Okay, before I respond, because I have lots of things to say,
Yes.
what does ATP stand for again?
It's
It's the Association of Tennis Players.
Something
ATP.
Like just that's the global.
That's the body.
global body that manages tennis.
It's like FIFA, but for
That's
tennis.
the FIFA.
tennis,
That's for tennis.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So in response to what you're saying, so are you suggesting that, for example, as a Kenyan, if I was to go to the UK laws have no hold over me?
It's not what I'm saying.
I'm
saying as an athlete, for example, and you're bound by IAAF, right? The laws, the COVID laws of the UK should not necessarily be applied uniformly to everyone in the world. They should be applied to all UK citizens. They should say.
And anyone that's in the country.
Anyone that's in the country.
No. That's why now I depart from that law. I'm saying, because we are playing this tournament in Kasarani, for example, we say all those people who have come to Kenya to participate in a certain event, we will house you in this and this place, and that's where you'll be for the duration of that tournament. If you don't want to be vaccinated, that's fine, but our law says you have to be vaccinated. Now, you won't get the luxury of moving around Kenya. We won't allow you to go to our parks, anywhere else. You'll stay there. Once you're done, you leave and go back to
Christian, may I
place.
ask, what is your perspective on vaccine mandates in totality?
I'm against it. I'm against it. I understand why people need to get vaccinated, but I'm against you telling me I have to.
But
okay. Now, if you allow me,
go on,
because I was trapping Chris a little bit. If Chris, that statement you had is the example of what I call a perfect example of what I call disagreeable, being disagreeable.
Okay.
You know that what social good is, but because as being an individual, you've taken up that perspective before anything else. And there are many people who've been disagreeable in the sports field. There's Novak Djokovic, there's a player called Kyrie Irving, and there are many sportsmen who have opted not to take the vaccine.
And doctors as well.
And doctors because they're cautious about what comes into their body. And so that is now the question. What defines public good? Because you see, as Australia, they're saying for public good, we all need to vaccinate.
Yes.
So
Australians.
No. Everybody within our borders must follow the rules in which we govern.
To add to this point, if somebody comes into your home and they say, I don't live here, therefore whatever rules you have for yourself do not apply to me, why would you invite them back into your home?
I'll give an example, yeah?
Okay.
In most Islamic homes, they eat using their hands. Okay. If you go into their house and you say, but then I don't eat with my hands, I'd prefer cutlery. They might give you cutlery, but because you're an outsider, they will accommodate you for that short period of time, right? Now we are saying this is an ATP tournament. It will last for maybe 2 weeks. Let them come, let them play. The way you punish them is they don't get to enjoy your country. You tether them, you tell them you will only be here and that's the only place you'll be.
But what if part of enjoying my country, in particular for Djokovic's case, is being able to become the greatest of all time?
So you're punishing him because of his beliefs?
Not his beliefs, for his simple refusal to follow the law. If you're coming into my country and you know exactly what the law is, you should follow it. It's like me saying, coming from the Netherlands where I don't know, like weed is legal, right? And then traveling to the UK and be like, well, you see, where I come from, I don't have to declare anything. I don't have to tell you guys that I have weed. It's perfectly legal for me to travel around with weed.
And if you're following the news, the organizers of the next major tournament, which is the French Open, which will be in May or June around there, have also instituted a vaccine mandate, saying that Djokovic may not be able to play if he gets vaccinated.
If he doesn't.
How else do you maneuver people to taking the vaccine and accepting the vaccine? And this is actually a very popular move. That's why Djokovic was actually very upset. He felt that the prime minister there was under pressure because of the increasing COVID, all the things they did.
That's also true.
And so he made a political decision to scapegoat with Djokovic and push all the attention on Djokovic, say he's making a public stance and he's not moving, and that helped Australians come back on his side. So it was political, but I understand why he did it, because
I'm a firm believer in you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. You know, you're risking a very big. I don't know. I understand why people need to be vaccinated. I understand, but I'm going against people's beliefs because you want to be right.
Okay, so wait, my question to you is, a country like Kenya, right?
Yes.
I think right now we have about 11 million people vaccinated, of which 4 million people are fully vaccinated, and we've done about 100. Yeah, we've done about 100,000 booster shots, right? How do you think the Kenyan government should encourage more people to be vaccinated? Because it's not like people don't have the information. I keep hearing adverts on radios and on TVs. I see it on my social medias. It's not like there are no vaccines. There are plenty polio vaccines,
Yes.
but people aren't taking them. How? And this is a public health crisis.
And
it's
that's
the
why
only way we can open.
That's why they've reached the decision
Yeah.
of vaccine.
You need
you need vaccine certificates in public locations.
Yeah,
as a way of instigate. And actually, to me, that it makes sense, especially in the African context, that the stick makes more sense than the carrot to me when you come to Kenya, because I feel there's a form of not authority the government presumes onto the people that will push people to follow. Sometimes those who question, I was listening to an interview from somebody from Greece, and he was saying that there are 3 types of people who are not taking the vaccines. There are those who just need a small nudge. They're not interested that much, but if you put a vaccine place outside their house, they'll take it. There are those who are not sure, but can be pushed, so that's why you institute the mandate. Then you have those who will just completely refuse no matter what happens, and they'll take it. That's why you have people like Djokovic, why you have people like Kyrie Irving, why you have people in all manners of life who have chosen not to take the vaccine. These are people who will not change their minds, likely. But I wanted to give you guys a bit of a funny story.
Before you give us that funny story, that third group that will not take it for whatever reason. So you are for the opinion that they should be punished.
I think their life should be made more difficult. For example, in Canada, they've instituted taxation.
Go to China, go and live in China. Because honestly, we are living in a democracy, and you're saying we respect your views. In Kenya, we say we don't have a national religion, right? There are some religions that outlaw vaccinations. I don't support them. I'm just saying, I understand your right to do what you want to do. But you're saying now, if you don't get vaccinated, you can't go to a public place and you can't access those. This person is paying taxes. He has as much right to that building as I do as a vaccinated person.
Okay, but I don't know how to explain this, but just because you have the right to something doesn't mean you can exercise it at all times, right? Doesn't mean it applies equally in all situations. For example, freedom of speech, right? The government can't stop me from cussing you out right now, right? Because I'm in a public space. I'm sorry.
I will stop you.
He can stop me, but I'm in a private space, right? But the government can stop somebody else from trying to infringe on my freedom of speech to do something else. Like, just because you have a right to do something doesn't mean it applies in all situations equally at all times.
No, I get it. My rights stop where yours begin. Now, what you're saying is their rights are fully curtailed until they do what we want them to do.
But it's a public health crisis.
Public good.
Okay, let me ask you this before you continue. What's the benefit of getting the vaccine?
You will not die from COVID.
Exactly. So if you get the vaccine, you will not die from COVID, right?
But you also can't spread it.
I will not spread it to you as well.
So if I don't get the vaccine, I risk dying from COVID. From COVID, right?
And you risk giving me some
but you won't die.
The vaccine.
But you won't die because
you're vaccinated. But you risk giving me COVID.
But you won't die because you're vaccinated. Guys, go get the vaccine. Protect yourself, right? It starts with you. If I'm not vaccinated, that's my own problem. If I want to die, by the way, I have been vaccinated 2 doses. But if I want to die, let me die. That's what I'm saying. As a Kenyan, I will not infringe on your right to not get vaccinated. Our forefathers, Dedan and Kimathi, they fought to make sure that you get the chance to make the decision that you want to do. So if you want to go get, Dedan Kimathi, if he was to wake up right now, he'll say, I fought for you guys to get the vaccine. I also fought for you not to get the vaccine. It's upon you.
It's your choice.
Do what you want to do. But I tell people, get vaccinated so that you protect yourself, you protect your family. But if you have reasons as to why you don't get vaccinated, I will not sit here and say you have to. Do as you please.
So to switch gears a little bit, Chris M, there's another discussion that has happened about sports people being the ones very against vaccinations.
Yes.
A number of key sports people have come. And a story I read about made me really happy, and I thought I was going to share it with you. It's just talking about how sports people have always had problems, not just with vaccines. There's a guy called Pud.
PUD?
PUD. That was his nickname because when he was a baseball player, when he'd hit the ball, it would make other guys melt like pudding.
Okay.
That was, honestly, that's, it was the nickname. So in the 1800s, okay? So, after some time, he was afraid, he started to lose his ability. And so he needed to make a decision about how to improve his ability. And this is the whole thing about them believing in things about their bodies, okay? So what did he do? He went to a doctor who got him an extract of dog and guinea pig testicles.
Okay.
And they converted them into an extract, which he consumed, so that he could become a better baseball player.
Okay.
So the reason I brought that story in, I know everyone is a bit confused, is because it's proof that in history, there's another one about balancing that got a group of people in trouble as well. There's a whole disagreeable culture in sports because of what they put in their body. And it makes a lot of sense because someone like Djokovic, one day he said he had a nutritionist who put a piece of white bread by his
rib cage or whatever.
Yeah, and that's how he found out he was allergic to
and that's how he found out he was allergic to gluten and bread.
That's not how it works.
And so Djokovic thanks his nutritionist for being pivotal in his success. So you have people who are very curious about these what they put in their body. However, what I feel they're not doing enough of is enough research as to how this will affect them and how it will actually, like, there's more research that shows you'll get worse reaction from getting COVID than you will from getting the vaccine. Isn't that true? Christian, what's your point?
I believe the vaccine saves life. I'll say this very fast.
Okay.
I'll say this very fast. It saves lives, yeah? But let us not sit here and point our fingers at them and say, you guys do your research, you're being very ignorant. They have their own reasons. Right, wrong, or otherwise. Let's respect it. That's the key word. Respect their wrong decision. Respect their right decision. We can disagree, but let's respect. That's the underlying word. Respect their decision. That's all I'd say.
Okay, because of time, we're going to pause there, and you'll tell us about now the next what's new. What's new on your side?
So you take a break first. And
Okay, we'll be back after the break. Welcome back to Work in Progress. So before we conclude the show, we're going to give Chris M a little time to share his what's new, and then we will close it right there. So Chris M, share with us quickly your what's new for the day.
Very quickly, and in case you've been living under a rock, there's this little tournament happening in Africa. It's called African Cup of Nations.
Big deal. Very big deal.
If you ask Klopp, it's a little tournament. So in Guinea had qualified for the tournament. In December, their leader told them, you either win the tournament or you reimburse us the amount of money we've spent preparing for this tournament. Now, the good thing is, by the time of our recording, Guinea have qualified for the knockout phase of the tournament, right? So maybe the threat is working. So we wait and see how the knockout will go on. But this is not the first time that athletes have been threatened.
Yeah, I remember, I think it was North Korea.
It's always North Korea.
I don't know if it's 2014 or
2010
World Cup. They went, this was the first time qualifying for the World Cup in a very long time. They did a great job. They didn't do a great job, but they had done a great job to qualify for the tournament. And so they went out and they were like, you know, we can do it. Then they were given a bit of incentive of...
Let me tell you the story.
You tell me.
What happened is, in 2010, when they went to South Africa, their first game was against Brazil. So the country put a media blackout on that game. They didn't watch the game.
No.
Yes, because they were scared of the embarrassment.
It's Brazil.
But then, the country performed very well. They lost 2-1 to Brazil.
That's good.
That inspired, if you know Brazil,
that's brilliant.
That inspired confidence. So the supreme leader was like, you know what? Let the people watch the games. The second game was against Portugal. They lost 7-0. Then the third game was against Ivory Coast. They lost 3-0. So when they went back home, they were so angry. The state was so angry that the whole team was paraded.
For 6 hours.
For 6 hours, they were being embarrassed in front of journalists, students, and government leaders.
It's basically, it's called a public...
Dress down.
Public dress down. It's part of like a socialist, communist culture in which whenever, in order for the party to behave at its best capacity, the expectation is that frequently, as a group, you guys will come together and criticize. So it first starts with me criticizing myself, and then everyone else is like, yeah, you didn't do this well as well, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, you didn't do this. Ideally, it's supposed to last like 10 minutes per person. This lasted 6 hours.
Yes, the coach was the point of aggression. So every player was told, now talk to the coach. Then after that 6-hour debacle, the coach was punished by being told he had to work in construction work for an extended period of time. So my prayer is for Guinea to win, because I don't want to see that scenario being repeated. So right now they're in the quarterfinal.
North Korea never qualified for the World Cup ever.
No, they did again.
Really?
I'm
No,
not
they
sure.
haven't.
I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but again, they don't have a coach. The coach is working in Amjengo, so who knows, yeah? So Guinea, here's to me wishing you all the best, because Kenya is not there. Guinea is my team, so all of you know, I'm supporting Guinea now.
Okay, so yeah, people watch the Africa Cup of Nations. It's a very enjoyable, we'll keep an eye on it for
It's
you.
on K24 Plus.
I think so, it's on K24 Plus.
No,
So,
no, watch it there.
yeah, so thank you so much for watching Work in Progress, and we'll be here with you next week.
Bye.